Hi guys, yes, you're watching yet another of mine shaky videos where I babble too much. But anyway, if you're still watching, I'm gonna show you my FM superhet that I built actually in original state. I built it quite a while ago, probably over 5 months ago, I believe. Yeah, quite a long time ago. And then I modified it because I wasn't happy with its performance, and after some modification I screwed it up and I just postponed this project and made some other projects, and now I returned back and I decided to redo it slightly, and here it is, redone. So I call it superhet receiver revision number 2. First I'm gonna give you a quick look at the construction. You can see that part of the circuit is constructed on the copper clad using isolated islands, as you can see. And another part of the circuit is built on a perf board. Another part which is built on perf board includes only essentially low frequency related stuff. IF strip, which operates at 10.7 MHz, but not nearly as high as this, which operates well into VHF range. So it consists of a couple of IF stages and a ratio detector. Audio preamplifier here, thermally stabilized AFC and thermally stabilized AGC, but I haven't hooked them up to this tuner by this time. I will hook up the AFC and AGC up to this tuner, but since I took another design, I need to take quite a bit of time to understand how to do it right. As you can see, apparently, from this potentiometer, there is no polyvaricons here in order to tune this circuit. I used varactor diodes, and those diodes look like these black boxes with a blue paint drop on them. You can see 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. 6 in total. And the original schematic for the tuner, e.g. the part which is constructed on a copper clad, looks like this. That's original schematic, alright? I do not recommend you to go and build this local oscillator. Well, you may look at it and you may find the problem right away. You may not, or you may find it. If you found it already, congratulations, you're faster than me. Because I found the problem quite a long time after I built this. I built the rest of the circuit, and I came to this and I was like, what? Check it out, there's no connections from the emitter to ground. You can see it just goes here, this emitter goes to this cap, into this resistor, and bam, that's nothing. I understood, maybe they just forgot to draw ground. I connected ground here, and it kind of oscillated, but not stable. Oscillator was drowning in a lot of places. Or should I say, oscillator was walking only in a few places. So I just decided, screw it. And I took a circuit from the Elenco AM/FM kit, this circuit, which is your essentially Colpitt's oscillator if memory serves me right, and I changed it in order to work with varactor diodes, since most of the varactor diodes are usually, you can see I put them instead of these capacitors, this bundle, and this bundle. That's why there are 6 of them. I use back-to-back configuration, 2 in the RF preamp and 1 in the local oscillator. But nonetheless, in order to change it to work with the varactor diodes, which are one end of the configuration that I'm using connects to ground, so I Change the circuit from this up to this. You can see it uses PNP transistor, so the collector goes through a coil and other coil end of the coil connects to ground. Another advantage of having one coil connected to ground is because the ground is a cold side. You can literally tune this in with your finger and it won't mind it. I can go and smoosh the coil or spread it up or spread it with my finger and it will be completely fine. It does change the frequency a little bit, but only and only when you capacitively couple too much, like you put your finger right like that. If you go just smoosh it, spread it with your fingernail like that, it doesn't mind at all. That's how I tuned it actually. You can see nothing fancy. Original schematic used 9 volts, but this tuner uses 12 volts. So what I did is I just took and increased this resistor up to 4.7K because it's not a very good idea to run this oscillator at very high currents that may produce dirty output waveform, e.g. lot of harmonics. Anyway, another part of the circuit, which includes IF stages and whatnot, looks like this. Essentially you can see the original front end and it worked just fine. The only problem I found with it is that it was emissive. It was so emissive that it made another receivers in range of 30 feet. Yeah, 30 feet. Shut up. They just shut up because the LO, for example, that receiver was tuned to 105. And I tuned this shebang to 995 around there. So the LO is 10.7 MHz above and it shuts it up, shuts that receiver right up. It was a very annoying feature. So I essentially, what's left of that in this is starting from here, from this capacitor. That's a second IF. I feed the mixer output here and it goes through this stage, through this stage, up to this ratio detector, which works really well. Quite a bit finicky to tune, but produces very nice sound. I like it much. Anyway, enough babble, let me demonstrate that it actually works. Okay. Let's start with lowest frequency, alright? I hope you can hear it. I will shut up for a bit so you can hear the stations, alright? I won't tune them precisely, very precisely I mean. So there may be some noise, static, but in order to save the length of the video, because it's already getting long. As always, I babble way too much. That's about 88 MHz here, we have this weird noise.
Российских властей, так и властей Украины, потому что по этой конвенции характер, але вони надавали. Я пройшов всі дороги. Trust in your heart, maybe your love will go.
And check the sound, it's pretty nice.
So full of pride.
Quite clean.
Створення із онлайн. І паралельно з цим впровадження
And that's it. There are a few stations right on the top of the band, but they are very weak. And I live nowhere near any of those stations. At least 30 miles or 48 kilometers away from the nearest transmitter tower, so yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I will do some more videos about this scene after I add AFC to it and AGC to make it even better. I'm not really keen on adding AGC there, it works just fine. As I mentioned, I live nowhere near transmitters, so yeah, absence of AGC will be just fine, I guess. But AFC will be handy, because varactor diodes, as any semiconductors, are very sensitive to temperature changes, and thus frequency drifts and station may go away when the temperature rises or falls. So AFC will take that and correct it in order to get the station, get the signal tuned right on. Anyway, thanks for watching, see ya.